Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Honor the Land on the Big Play Sports Network presented by FanDuel. I'm Max Loeb. He is Chef Zay. We are fresh off the bye week, ready to talk more Cleveland Browns. We're going to kick it off with some breaking news. Legitimately, the second we stepped into the studio is the first time this has happened probably in the history of Honor the Land. We got breaking news when we walked in here. Paul DePodesta, reportedly set to step away from the Cleveland Browns and move to the Colorado Rockies after being in Cleveland for a decade. A pretty big switch-up post-buy, switch-up post-trade deadline, switch-up as well. Zay, what do you make of this move right now?
Is there more to come, or are they giving us our flesh midway through the season? I hope it's not, though. You know what I mean? Like, no. But I right before we were about to start on, you said, how long has Paul T been here? And you checked it, and it's almost been a decade. This goes right in to when Andrew Berry said the 8 to 10 year plan. This was all so calculated. I was telling you right before the show started that I think us as fans are underestimating this front office and the ownership and what they are trying to do. I think we look at these guys like they're a box of rocks, when in reality, this is all part of their plan. I think everything that they've gone through has been at least thought of, and at least they have they know. So I'm in a situation where I'm like, okay, this was part of the 8 to 10 year plan. Now they can turn the page. They got some building blocks for next year. My big question is now, is this enough? Because I think if Kevin Stefanski makes it back next year, does that tell us something? Does that mean that Paul DePodesta was really the string puller? Because and we'll give Kevin another shot? Or like, how, you see where I'm trying to go with that?
Yeah, I don't. Giving us flesh in the middle of the year, I'm not convinced. Yeah. Like, I think if that was the case, house would have been cleaned out, if we're being real. Like, I don't know about Andrew Berry, but like the coaching staff, all this stuff. But it's not I don't think it's a coincidence that it's post-buy. I don't think it's a coincidence that as well as the play calling changes happening mid-season. Like, Browns are taking a hard look at themselves. It's the reality when you're faced with a bye week middle of the season, week 9, almost directly halfway through the season. And you know, maybe it's just the time in the MLB hiring cycle that they start to look elsewhere too. So that's another aspect of this that I truthfully don't know about. But it's weird. It's odd, and it doesn't, to me, just happen in the middle of the season. Something is the catalyst for this.
Do you think that it has anything to do with how these other teams are operating right now? It seems as if we are in a time period in the NFL that's very different than what we've seen. I'm trying to ever really.
In what sense?
In sense of, the Jets have 4 first-round picks coming up. You have us who have 2 first-round picks this year, 2 first-round picks next year, however that is. There's all of these teams, and I think it was on that morning show with Adam Schefter and all those guys, and they were talking about the arms race that's in the NFL.
Yeah.
Do you think that Paul DePodesta isn't suited for the arms race that's going on in the NFL right now, and they see that the direction they're going, and they're like, you know what? If we want to keep up with these teams, we're going to have to do something different. And maybe I keep telling you guys my theory and all of this stuff in the 8 to 10 year plan. They did their swing and a miss. That 8 to 10 year plan is done now. And they're probably looking at their frame of work and the information, like the analytics guys like to say, and looking at it and saying, yeah, this isn't going to work with the arms deals race that we're going up against right now.
You know what I completely overlooked in this whole thing? Have you seen the movie Moneyball? Do you know what Moneyball is about?
It's the athletics, the whole what the Browns have done. Basically,
yes, exactly. And Paul DePodesta was on Billy Beane's staff in Oakland when this was all going down. The polar opposite of an arms race is the Moneyball approach, where you're trying to find not ways around, but you're trying to find the most efficient, especially financially, options to win you games or to make impacts instead of going all in and trading for a guy like Sauce Gardner, or instead of paying Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, all these guys. They're polar opposites. So you might be right. And it's not necessarily Paul DePodesta may not be, yes. It's not necessarily Paul DePodesta may not be fit for it. It's the approach in the system that may not be built for it in the AFC. And I don't want to just say AFC. It's kind of like that in the NFC too. But I mean, this is the most open the AFC's been in a really long time. Like, you got 7, 8 teams that are pushing playoff spots that I mean, in a perfect world, playing at their best, can beat anybody in the conference. That's the reality.
And you're talking about a Ravens team that's sitting at 3-5.
That was the 8th team I was thinking of.
Right,
and
like,
you could make an argument for the Jaguars, too, for all I care.
And, I mean, you're a field goal away and a stop away from the Browns being in the cup. Like, it's so open right now.
Yep.
But it's also a testament to the talent in the league. Like, the league is so filled with talent right now. And we're under, like, we throw these guys out so quick that we forget how the league used to be. It took a while for guys to develop. When we talked about quarterbacks or receivers, like, guys were getting legitimate years to see if they could do something. Now it's like, hey, if you're not doing something the first or second year and you do get that second or third year opportunity, more than likely you're thrown away to the trash and you're never being revived. But we're starting to see now it's almost like a dividend stock or a compound interest. When you compound interest something, the analogy is the market has gone up 8 to 10% over the past 30 years. If you put in $30,000 30 years ago, it'd be worth $1.2 million because of compound interest.
Yep.
That's what the NFL is like right now. Sam Darnold's, the Baker Mayfields of the world, all of these quarterbacks that have been thrown away. Sure, they paid a little bit of dividends in the beginning, but they threw them away. New cycles came in, a new brand came in. But now those old guys are starting to come back into the picture and make a move. So I posed the question to the roundtable guys on my other show on Wednesday about the whole Joe Burrow thing. If you were the Bengals, and I know this isn't a Bengals show, but I'm just curious because of the arms race. If you were the Bengals...
The answer is no. I know your guys. The answer is no.
If the Jets picked up the phone and said, hey, we got 4 first-rounders for you.
Four something.
Because I'm looking at it like this. When we talk about the talent, if the Browns had a Jamar Chase and a T. Higgins, you telling me that with this defense you need a Joe Burrow?
No. You
so
don't.
Like, utilize the talent that you have. I don't know. I think we're in a new era of football. I'm kind of liking it a little bit.
I do too. It's the F them picks era, and I think Les Snead, Les Snead, and I have probably the GM I admire the most in the NFL is Les Snead because of that 2021 run.
Rams, right?
Where he did it so unconventionally, traded away picks, obviously Stafford, but then like the addition of Odell and Von Miller at midseason, like nobody in that building was like, yeah, we should get these guys, but he did it anyways. Yeah. I think we are entering a new world where you either have to be unconventional or you have to have Patrick Mahomes. And only one team has Patrick Mahomes. So I think we are entering a new era in the NFL, and maybe the Browns' previous approach, whether right or wrong, was not built for it.
And on the other side, I'll get into why I think Jimmy Haslam is built for this type of arms.
I wholeheartedly agree. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back on Honor the Land on the Big Play Sports Network. Welcome back in Honor the Land on the Big Play Sports Network. I'm Max Loeb. He is Chef Zay. Continuing to talk about the change of direction, I guess, in the Browns front office organization. You had a great point about Jimmy Haslam, this arms race in the AFC. You feel like he's built for it. I agree with you, but I want to know your expanded thoughts on that.
I keep telling y'all, we think these owners are dumber than a box of rocks.
No.
But I tell you what's not dumb, but I tell you what is like rocks. His paybook, his checkbook is heavy, and he ain't going to be afraid to throw as many rocks as he can into that ocean until he hits something. Whether he's on the boat or he's standing on land, he going to hit something. And I think we've seen that from everything that he's done. Like, I always go back to the whole Deshaun Watson thing. Everyone always likes to go to the contract, but on the other side of that coin, it's like, dude, you got an owner who's willing to dish out this kind of money. Like,
fully guaranteed
at that. And not only that, you paid Myles Garrett, you paid Nick Chubb, you paid Wyatt Teller and Joe Patonio, and you paid Denzel Ward and Grant Delpit and JOK. Like, it's not like he don't pay his players. So if you can put a winning product out there, and you referenced that before the show, the whole PSLs being $100,000 and all of that stuff, like, if you think that Jimmy Haslam is going to build this stadium in Brook Park and then say, hey, we're not going to try to win. Yeah. We're not going to try to sell these $100,000 ticket packages. It's going to take 11-6 season from the Browns for those things to go skyrocket and for Jimmy Haslam to be like,
2029.
Who wants $230 million?
Know,
who wants 200? Like, I think he wants to do this. So I think Jimmy Haslam is totally built for an arms race because his pockets run deep.
I agree with you. I think he low-key tried to cause an arms race signing Deshaun Watson.
Maybe.
Because, I mean, you go back and we'll talk about...
Like big bank take little bank.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. Like, you do the trade again, you got to pull the trigger on it, right? That's the reality of it. I know people don't like how it turned out, but in that position, you have to with the roster that you have. Like, if the Browns were good with Deshaun Watson right when he got there, the AFC would have followed suit too. We know why the AFC is following suit right now.
Well, that's what happened with him and Lamar. Remember, Lamar was part of that fiasco and the delay and all of that stuff because Lamar wanted his guaranteed money.
And then as soon as teams started seeing you had to have, like I said, Patrick Mahomes, but really now Mahomes, Allen, or Lamar to seriously start making noise in the AFC, they're starting to follow suit. Like you look across the NFL right now, the Steelers, granted, have a great defense. They were a big quarterback away, and Aaron Rodgers is playing his behind off right now. Like that's a good team. I don't know if the Colts fall into that category because they have the roster outside of the quarterback, but even then, like you look across the NFL, the New England Patriots loaded up with Drake May on a rookie deal. It's almost the polar opposite of that, but they know what they have at quarterback and can't afford to load up on that. Obviously, the Ravens with Lamar Jackson, and now even the Denver Broncos with Bo Nix on a rookie deal. Like, that's a really good team. So you're either loading up around a quarterback paying a bunch of money, or you're paying your quarterback a bunch of money, like a Justin Herbert. But there's an arms race. There's very clearly an arms race. We talked about 8, 9-ish teams in the AFC that can make that push. And if you are sitting here and don't think the Browns are at least financially willing, Jimmy Haslam at least isn't financially willing to join the arms race, you're sorely mistaken because he did it in the past, and I think he's going to do it again. I think as soon as the Browns know they're in a solid spot to join the arms race or whatever it looks like, he's going to be aggressive in pulling the trigger.
And that's why I don't think Andrew Berry's going anywhere. I don't think Andrew Berry's going anywhere because the money's got to be right. You can dislike Andrew Berry all you want. You can think he's terrible at trading for receivers or drafting receivers, and you can think he's terrible at all these other things. But I can tell you what he's not terrible at, and that's maneuvering the money.
Yeah,
I don't think there's anybody better than maneuvering the money than him. And when you have that mixed with the fact that put some respect on the way that he can finagle some picks, too, because the man can create some magic with some stuff. Yeah. I mean, you turn a 5th-rounder into Amari Cooper 2,000-yard seasons. You turn another 5th-rounder for Jerry Jeudy or whatever that was, or a 1,000-yard season. You find gems like JOK and Emerson in 3rd rounds and stuff like that, or 2nd round for JOK. But Andrew Berry has some good qualities. I think if you can mix a John Dorsey personality with him, you got yourself a hybrid type gun here that you're working with.
Yeah, let's talk trade deadline for a minute here because you mentioned receiver. I feel like it triggers me every time we talk about it in this damn studio. Since April or March, I think the first episode was in March. I especially have been saying you need a receiver. Not in the draft, not really in the offseason, not really pre-camp, nothing at the trade deadline. The only move the Browns made, which I did think was an advantageous move, was getting Joe Tyron Shaenka off the roster. That's trade deadline move. Obviously, they traded Greg Newsome, but
that was another like finesse by Berry to a guy for free.
Yeah, exactly. And the Joe Tyron Shaenka thing, like you're moving up in the draft, and that was a guy who wasn't having as much of an impact rotationally. Like it's a good problem to have. You got 4 or 5 edge guys that you're like, well, this guy's good, but we can trade him out of the conference, move up in the draft, and we're off the hook for some money. Let's just do it. Like I think that was a good trade for the Browns. But damn, no receiver again. Like I can't sit here and watch the pass offense if it looks as anemic as it has. Like it's you need playmakers, and I get they're the guys between the hashes. I get David Njoku and Harold Finn Jr., but at some point you're gonna have to throw the ball outside, and Jerry Jeudy straight up hasn't done it. So I'm a little surprised there was not some type of receiver move made. I know they brought Cedric Tillman back, or at least opened his window. Hopefully, fingers crossed, he's back somewhat soon. But you still need the playmakers on the outside.
You definitely need the playmakers on the outside, but you know, one reference I always go to is they want to mimic the Eagles. Like the Eagles, they draft. I know.
Who do the Eagles have on the outside?
No, but what I'm saying, like they traded for their receiver. They drafted Devontae Smith.
Oh, I see what you
mean.
They
drafted him in the 1st round with the 10th pick or whatever that was back in 2021. But the year after that, they traded for AJ Brown. You look at the Andrew Berry thing, they took Cedric Tillman in the 3rd round, and they took Anthony Schwartz in the 3rd round, but they never traded. They traded for Amari Cooper, and they never made the big A.J. Brown name splash yet. So I think that we know this is why I'm scared for the draft this year, because we were all sitting here every single week saying that the Browns need to go ahead, go offense with the first 2 picks.
Yeah,
they did the complete opposite of that.
Well, look at the offense right now.
And that's where I'm nervous that I just don't think it's part of Andrew Berry's formula unless it was the Paul DePodesta Moneyball strategy, which
it could be.
It could be. So maybe we get to see it this year, and we get to see if he can actually evaluate that position. Because for whatever reason, the value on receivers is I want to say 4th, 5th, 6th tier for
Yeah,
the Browns.
it
It
is.
was
It
never a
is.
high priority for them,
Yeah, and it's
which is stupid when they throw 40 times a game.
and it's like I'm with you. It's dumb. And then I go back to think about what the scheme is, and we've talked about like the whole the quarterback or the scheme is built for the players, not the players for the scheme. All this stuff where like you don't have the outside X, whereas the Philadelphia Eagles like they will have AJ Brown or Devontae Smith on the outside and say, "Oh, we got this guy one-on-one. Even if this corner is playing off, that safety over there is really far away. Let's just huck it up to him." Like the Eagles will, Jalen Hurts will do that. And maybe it's a quarterback thing. I don't know, but at the same time, I don't think the offense is built like that. Like I don't think the offense is built for sideline go balls to Jerry Jeudy and Cedric Tillman. And maybe they're trying to maximize the personnel in the scheme, but you tell me, is it working?
No, it's not. It hasn't been working.
That's the word.
15.8 points per game is not working. So you got to figure out something. But yeah, that's why I think I'm intrigued with the Tommy Reese thing. Another big bomb that I don't think I wasn't expecting it. I kind of threw that bingo card away a long time ago just because I was like, when have we ever seen a coach who got hired to call plays not only give it up once, but have to give it up twice? And not only did he have to give it up twice, but he did it back-to-back years around the same time. Why bring him back if you knew that was a possibility?
I think they hoped it wasn't a possibility, but it's a valid question. I mean, you guys tell me.
I don't know. I just think it's almost irresponsible, which plays right into my whole theory. It's like, this is calculated. They want this. I'm telling you, they don't want to win right now. Oh. And I get up here every single week and I tell myself and I convince myself Browns are going to win. They don't want to win right now. And I think I need to I don't know if I have to go to ashwagandha land, wherever they call it, and sit in a closed room for 2 weeks and just be like, Zay, it's okay. We know they're losing, and convince myself so I can be in a good state of mind. But it's written in our face that just relax, go hibernate until 2029, and then get ready for the party, because Brook Park is going to be a party.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back on to the Land on the Big Play Sports Network. Welcome back into Honor the Land on the Big Play Sports Network. I am Max Loeb. He is Chevzay, continuing to talk about the direction of the Browns post-trade deadline, post-bye. Mid-season sitting at 2-6. I think we hoped it wasn't a possibility, but knew it was a possibility. It's a gauntlet of first 6 games. We talked about that. We talked about the Dolphins game being a winnable game, and they did win that game. Patriots was always going to be a toss-up. Didn't know how they were going to be. They're a good team. Sitting here at 2-6 post-bye, going to play the New York Jets. You got to win this game, right?
This feels like Charlie Brown's getting ready to set up for a field goal, only for it to just get pulled right from him and we fall flat on him. It has that written all over it. It makes me want to throw up. But, like, these are games that Kevin Stefanski teams don't lose for some reason. It's like, if there's one thing that we can count on, he's going to throw that ball 40 times a game. It don't matter if it's DTR or if it's Dylan Gabriel. And the other thing is, like, games that he should not lose, like, the one where it's like, don't put the cart in front of the horse. The one that we do that, he always finds a way to do it. But this goes into the Vegas hand. Oh, Vegas, it should be easy, right? No Sauce Gardner, no Quentin Williams. They mortgaged everything at the deadline. You think this should be an easy win. And then next thing you know, backup cornerbacks got 2 interceptions. Their backup defensive tackles got a forced fumble for a touchdown, and we lose by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, well, you backup corner, I'm glad you said that, because Sauce Gardner is no longer a New York Jet. Mm-hmm. Quentin Williams is no longer a New York Jet. Quincy Williams, the linebacker, has been benched. And on the other side of the ball, it does sound like Garrett Wilson will play this game. So obviously some things to worry about for the Browns. And they tried, apparently, reportedly. And A.D. Mitchell now coming into that offense, I think provides with Fields with a number 2 they didn't really have. Like, even if A.D. Mitchell has all these concerns about dropping the ball at the goal line, who cares? Like, he's a good player. I still think the Browns should win this game. I think you look at the Jets' run defense. We'll get into that a little bit later. They should have an advantage on the ground. But then it comes back to the Browns. Like, Quinshon Judkins injured his shoulder, not even on the injury report. But can the health of this Browns defense keep up? That's my question, because you got Carson Swessinger on the injury report. You got some other depth players on there. I'm a little worried about the Browns defensively, just in terms of the personnel they have. Not necessarily going against the New York Jets.
I'm not worried about the defense at all. Like this, I'm kind of in the same boat that I was in last year because last year it was kind of the same problem. Every single week, fans were asking me like, dude, how are you so optimistic about this team? Like, how can you sit here and convince yourself? It was because until the defense checks out, this team will have a chance no matter what.
Agreed.
And we saw that up until, I want to say, about week 13-ish, 14-ish last year is when you kind of started to see the defense start to dwindle down a little bit. There's too much play. There's too much meat on the bone for this defense to just throw it in right now. Myles Garrett's having a ridiculous season so far. The defense are taking phenomenal strides, and I'm telling you, this is one of those things. I mentioned it last show. This could be a beautiful art creation that they're trying to create right now. Because if you can get through this ugly stage, I like to think of it as my hair. When I grew my hair out, the first 9 months was so brutal because you get through this one stage where it's like your hair's long, but it's short. And it's very ugly and scrunchy, and you look like a dirty dude. And it's just like, if you can get through that, there's beauty at the other end. And a big forehead, clearly for me. But there's beauty on the other end of that, which is long hair, right? I think if the Browns can weather this storm, and I'm telling you, if they just get the right leader, and I think right now you got a leader. You got to fix a flat in your bag. And it's Shedeur Sanders. If you can just bring that energy in, this season would have such a different feel to it. But unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get that. I think we need to go ahead and think of 4.
Beforehand.
Hey,
you know me, guys. I've been talking about that.
Listen, if Dylan Gabriel wins this game versus the Jets,
he's not going anywhere.
He's not going anywhere for at least another 2-3 weeks. But if he loses this game, then I think you're in the Shedeur territory. But if let's just say Dylan wins this game, you lose next week, and then he finds a way to look serviceable the week after that, there's a very, very good chance you probably are going to see Dylan the rest of the year, or at least until that second to last week area.
I mean, he's kind of the last. We've talked about the straw that breaks the camel's back with Stefanski. I mean, Dylan Gabriel has to be the last straw here. I don't know what else it could be right now, but I think you're right. I think 3 things can happen this weekend with Dylan Gabriel. Obviously, number 1, he plays great. They win. Awesome. Sweet. Browns win a football game. You move forward next week. Dylan Gabriel's a starter. I think Dylan Gabriel could play poorly, and they could win. And I still think they would walk forward with Gabriel as the starter, even if he didn't play well and they won the game, which is, I'm not saying that's right. I just think that's a reality. Or doesn't play well, they lose.
Do you think Dylan Gabriel could have been Tommy Reese's guy? Maybe. I know we always sit here and we talk about him being Kevin Stefanski's guy. But, why? I just don't get this whole thing. You think about how these last 2 seasons have played out. Last year, at the beginning of the offseason, they canned everything, and they went to John Dorsey, and they were supposed to gear it to him. But then Dorsey gets the play calling when Deshaun Watson isn't even playing.
Yeah.
Fast forward to this year, you see Joe Flacco, you get the whole entire offense. They wanted Kenny Pickett. Got to go back to that. We keep forgetting about Kenny Pickett.
Yep.
They wanted him.
Yeah.
And then they gear it all to Joe Flacco, and we all think that this is Dylan's guy, but wouldn't you want to see Kevin and Dylan work? It almost makes me wonder, is this Tommy Reese's guy? Because you go back to the little breadcrumbs that they left us, and they always say the decision-making. Maybe there's a scheme, because I like to, they say the Dolphins scheme for how Mike McDaniels runs it and why Tua was so effective in that is because it was very timing-based. Everything was very on time, and when the win happened, it throws off the timing. Maybe Tommy Reese has some sort of system that Dylan can operate better. But don't you think it's a little weird that, this is Kevin's guy, now all of a sudden we're not going to see him with him?
It's weird, but you brought up the Wyatt Teller quote at the beginning of this, before we started recording, the plays themselves will be the same. So, it's holistically, Dylan Gabriel is the Stefanski offense guy, but that includes Tommy Reese. Now, the order of the plays, the structure of drives, who knows? Tommy Reese has tendencies, I'm sure, that Kevin Stefanski doesn't, and Kevin Stefanski has tendencies that Tommy Reese doesn't, and it'll keep defensive coordinators honest, which I honestly think is a good thing this week. But I can't imagine it's going to look wildly different. I can't believe it that it will.
I mean, I guess in terms of the result last year, the points per game wasn't different, but the yards skyrocketed.
Yeah.
The second that he went out, I think it's more so. I'm telling you, I think the Browns' problems is more so internal versus X's and O's. Sure, the execution is poor. Guys are dropping passes. You just can't do that. But I think the energy that's flowing through that offense is so contagious in a bad way that you're seeing it. And that's why you think about how energy carries and why it's so contagious. Just go back to that Green Bay Packers game. I genuinely don't think you win that game without Q's energy on the sideline.
No shot.
The jolt that he gave, the energy that he brought, like that stuff. I know we always like to use it as our memes when Jarvis Landry had it on Hard Knocks saying that it's contagious, but it's contagious. So they need to – Tommy Reese needs to be – matter of fact, that's what I want to say. I'm glad I talked myself into it. I just want to see Kevin on the sideline galvanizing his troops. Because every single time we see Kevin on that sideline, he's always sheet. This sheet. Looking over to the sideline, he has 2 seconds to talk to the ref, then back to the sheet. But when your sideline is in chaos, Myles Garrett's throwing his helmet. You got Jerry Jeudy dropping passes, consecutive drives. He's on the sideline, not looking like he needs to be. Like, I want to see my coach being a leader over there. And if I don't see that, what the hell is Kevin doing here?
It's a very good question. It is a very good question. I think when you do look at the Browns' offense, leadership is needed. I don't know from where or from who.
It's only 2 positions.
Is it though?
Yeah, because they had. I when I say this, I don't want people to think that the Browns don't have leadership. I think Grant Delpit is a leader. I think Denzel Ward is a leader. I think Myles Garrett is a leader. I think Carson Schwarzenegger is a leader. On the offensive side of the ball, I think David Njoku is a leader, and I think Q is a leader. The problem is, it's not the position that gets the. It's not the it position.
Yeah,
I see what you can have. It's not like. I'm trying to think of a running back or like, can you think of a running back or a receiver who was the leader of them? Be like, man, we could not win this without him.
Saquon Barkley, that's it, and he doesn't grow on a tree.
And that's fair. That's fair. And you know what? That is fair. But then you also got to take into account that their offensive line is probably was the best at it. But it's fair in that. But what I'm saying is like the Browns don't have that leader on the offense that they can just look to and be like, I'm dying for this dude. In 2023, they looked at Joe Flacco and was like, I will give you my left nut for Joe Flacco right now. And until they get that, sure, it's cute. I love it when 10 do it. Yeah. It looks good. Yeah. But when is that effective from the running back position? It's not. David Njoku on the sideline doing that, it's cool. It's fun. We see him in the press conferences. We get hyped up, but you're still 2-6. It's clearly not effective. Yeah. But when Joe Burrow come out and say this, or when Tom Brady on the sideline chewing out his teammates, or Peyton Manning was on the sideline chewing out his offensive linemen, results happen. So that's all I'm saying is like the 2 positions that you need leadership. It's a non-negotiable. You either have to have it at the head coaching spot or you have to have it at the quarterback position. And unfortunately, they're 0 for 2 in that department. Yeah.
I mean, you're calling a spade, you're telling the truth here. We'll be right back. Take a break on Honor the Land on the Big Play Sports Network. Welcome back into Honored Land on the Big Play Sports Network. I am Max Loeb. He is Chef Say. Before we finish up this Browns-Jets preview, we do have to talk some Cleveland Cavaliers. Last time we met, they were about to play the Toronto Raptors in the NBA Cup. They wound up losing that game, but rip off a couple more, and all of a sudden they're sitting at 5-3 after beating the Philadelphia 76ers in the debut of those beautiful navy blue throwbacks. I mean, the stadium looked incredible, the jerseys looked incredible, and Donovan Mitchell looked incredible. 46 points. Did you see what he said about the kid on 2K?
I did see that.
That's awesome.
See that. You
That's
need
great
that.
Stuff.
Those are the type of stories that I love to hear from the players because it still shows the human element. Like, if Donovan Mitchell, I feel like if NBA teams were smart, they would purposely get a heckler from a opposing team or someone and just sit them on court side or sit them, because I think back to when Tyrese Halliburton said, oh, I look for a fan. He's like, I go out of my way to look for someone in the stands who's heckling me so I can channel this deeper thing. Like, can we just put that on like the side, the front court every single game and watch these players go for 46? Because I think it definitely does trigger them. We don't pay attention to social media. No, they do. They fuel it.
What big play talent do you think would be the best heckler? I think I was gonna say Jack, but I don't know.
I think
I have to chime in here, fellas. I have to chime in. It's Jack O'Rourke, and it's not close.
Nah,
I haven't seen him at a hockey game. I haven't been to a hockey game with Jack. It's one of one. It's Jack O'Rourke.
Okay. I can co-sign that, but I'm picking myself.
Yeah, I was gonna say you.
I think my dream is to, as much as I love the Browns, I want to get on the sideline so bad of a basketball game and have a Reggie Miller moment or Spike Lee moment. Like, I want to be the guy that's like, you the reason why we lost tonight. Like, I long for that. So if anybody's ever got courtside seats that they don't want, and you want to see Zay act the fool, hit my line because that is a dream bucket list for me to just heckle somebody.
That's
and
awesome.
I think who would you want to heckle if you could have one player to heckle, whether any sport? Who would you choose?
Ooh, any sport.
Any
that's
sport.
tough. Ooh. I don't know. Any sport is really difficult. I think because I would like to pick somebody who'd lean back into it, like who'd talk back to me.
Tyrese Halliburton would be fun.
Halliburton would be fun. I think there's no way I'd win this battle, but it'd be the most fun. Kevin Durant, because he always talks back to fans.
Okay, that's fair.
There's no shot I'm winning that battle, but if I got to heckle KD, I think it'd be awesome.
You know who would be a good? You know who would be a fun one, but it would be scary.
Who?
Rest in peace, Kobe.
Yeah, that'd be terrifying.
Could you imagine?
No, I don't want to.
Oh my God, Kobe being like, yeah, okay.
He probably wouldn't even say look at you.
He'd look
just-
at you
just
after
look at
every
you.
shot.
I'm trying to think NFL players who I'd like to heckle the most though, because that's a tougher one. I mean,
I got another fun one. AFC North rival for decades. I mean, probably no better trash talker or intimidator. Ray Lewis.
yeah,
Could you imagine just being like, yeah, Q ran it through down your chest,
Yeah.
and the next play Ray Lewis takes off Q's
Yeah.
head? Like that's probably what would happen.
Dude, there was
Yeah.
honestly no better era for trash talk in the AFC North than Chad Ochocinco,
Yep.
James Harrison, Ray Lewis. It will
Who
never
was
be
the Browns?
Yeah, exactly. Who was the Browns? Honestly, it was Andre Rudd throwing his helmet and all that stuff, but it will not be replicated in the AFC North ever again.
I was gonna say T.J. Watt, but I found personally every time I say something bad about T.J. Watt, he makes a play right after. So I'm not even gonna.
Yeah, so let's not go
put that
there
out
next
there
time
yet.
that we play them, please.
Absolutely not. No, but no, I'm with you. I think it'd be a really fun atmosphere, and I think that leans back into what I continue to say about Donovan Mitchell. I think all of us share the same sentiment. Like that is the epitome of what a calm leader looks like. A guy who obviously loves his community, is childlike to a sense where he goes about his business happily, and then when it's game time, switch flips. He is a leader on the court, and people want to go to war for him because of how he acts, but also how he plays. And I think that, as you look across all sports in Cleveland, just sports in general, like that's the type of leadership that wins, I think. And I obviously, the Cavs lost last year in the second round of the playoffs, but that to me is the type of leadership that's sustainable and can take you a long way.
I was on the treadmill watching the games, and there was a guy on TV. I mean, I don't know. I'll probably get some flack for saying this, but I think he would fit so well with the Donovan Mitchell and his personality and what he brings, because we want Evan Mobley to be that style. We want Jaron Allen. We want our big guy to be that guy. If this team had a Karl Anthony Towns, I think it would be like the perfect complement to Donovan Mitchell, because like you mentioned, he's the calm leader, but he's also got that grit to him. Like, oh, you gonna talk? I'm gonna give it to you. But Karl Anthony has that. He got kind of like that pit bull attitude that's barky, that's gritty,
He does.
I'm going to stare you down, I'm going to talk this trash for you. Like, could you imagine if Evan Mobley had Cat's demeanor? Is that all demeanor, but the on the play style. Like, I think Cat Williams would fit this team so well. However, I don't like talking regular season with the Cavs just because it's like it's too early in the season, too many games.
Before we finish and talk more Browns, straight up, I think Evan Mobley's got a higher ceiling, but right now Karl Anthony Towns may contribute more, less money financially down the line. You trade Evan Mobley for Karl Anthony Towns?
No. That's you. I think you can get a personality. Personalities are hard to find, but I think if you can find a big man, like for instance, when the Lakers won that championship, Dwight Howard was just sitting there for them. You know what I mean? Like
Didn't they have Andre Drummond too?
JaVale McGee.
JaVale.
I think.
It might have been both, but regardless, yeah.
Either I just think that like you can find it would be easier to do that. Evan Mobley's aren't growing on trees. Like that's going to be a defensive juggernaut for years to come. And I mean, I know he's not progressing as fast as we would like, but he's making some moves on the offensive side of the ball, and he's shooting a lot more threes too.
The Cavs are also still not healthy. Obviously, Darius Garland makes his debut, but Max Strus has been battling an injury. Even DeAndre Hunter's been in and out. So I think the best is very much yet to come. We're going to take a break. We'll talk Browns-Jets preview up next on Honor the Land on the Big Play Sports Network. Welcome back into Honor the Land on the Big Play Sports Network. I'm Max Loeb. He is Chef Zay. This is our FanDuel Honor the Lay. Browns-Jets. This is a close game. The lines have moved a bunch. I know one player I'm looking at specifically in this game. I'll take it home with you guys. I'm not going to do the whole cross game parlay. It didn't work 2 weeks ago. The Cavs did win that game, but they're also like 8-point favorites. So I'll let you guys kick it off, whichever one of you guys wants to go first.
I almost they got Justin Fields at 172. I almost like the under on that.
I don't know. Did you guys see my tweet that went viral? It was at the Brown Steelers when we were at Truck Park because the Jets were playing the Broncos in the morning. Do you see that?
I remember you saying something about a tweet.
Justin Fields at halftime his live line for passing yards like 108 yards.
You bet it.
It was like 108 yards. Like, this is way too low. This is ridiculous. He had like 20 at halftime, so like it made sense. Like, this is way too low. They're going to be losing. I think he finished with 50 yards. So Justin Fields is on my personal banned list. Yeah, I'm not even touching Justin Fields. But there are two players I like in this game. So I'll let you guys go first. I trust you guys and your opinions, and I'll take us home with something I think is very good.
Zay, if you need a second, I got mine.
Yeah, go ahead.
This feels like one that would be stolen from Zay, quite honestly, anyway. But the Jets just traded away Quinnen Williams. They said Quincy Williams is not going to be playing in this game as well. Sauce Gardner also traded away to the Colts. So honestly, Browns might get more than 20 points, like we've been saying. We've been praying for it for so long. The team total was pretty interesting to me, but I'd rather actually go anytime touchdown Quinshon Judkins, currently at -145 anytime touchdown on the FanDuel Sportsbook. That one feels like free money to me, even if it is a lower scoring game than we think. I think Q still gets in the end zone because, I don't really have that much belief in Dylan Gabriel to get it done, other than on the ground.
I like that. And the Jets are also, I looked this up, bottom 5 in yards after contact per attempt. They struggle to tackle. They're allowing 135.8 rush yards per game. They're also bottom 10 in yards per carry.
So we'll get into it a little bit too, but this Aaron Glenn defense is not what you would have thought it would have been, because that Lions defense he had last year, They played unbelievable. They played really well for the Lions, but they're brutal this year. I don't know why it's so poor, because maybe it's just an effort thing, Max.
I think, and I talked about the second half of last year, Lions defense is not good. It was,
they got hurt though.
Exactly. And it got hurt to a point where Aaron Glenn, from what I saw, and this is also my opinion, didn't adjust based on his personnel. They couldn't get after the quarterback. You lose Aiden Hutchinson, you're not going to get after the quarterback. And they continued to just line up and play man coverage, and their DBs weren't good enough. What I now think is, you saw that last year, right? Will Aaron Glenn change his approach this time around when he didn't change it last year? I'm not convinced. Yeah. And if they continue to line up like they have been against the Browns, it's a similar defense to the Steelers, guys. Not talent-wise, but how they approach it. I think they're going to try to shut Quinshon Judkins down, but I don't know if they can, to be honest with you. So I'm a little less sold on the Aaron Glenn thing. I think he's an awesome head coach, coordinator, play caller. I didn't like what I saw last year, but Zay, I'll kick it to you for your leg.
A little sprinkle dinkle on something here.
Sprinkle dinkle.
They got Jamari Thrash at +500 anytime touchdown. That seems awfully weird.
Especially considering Isaiah Bond, when we were recording this, last practice DNP.
Yeah, so if you want to get a little frisky and you want to have a little fun, I think Jamari Thrash may find the end zone. However, flashback to last year, the second that gave up play calling, receiving just happened to be a thing. And I'm looking at Jerry Jeudy's line at 40.5. I know you guys have probably got him on your shit list. He's probably on the ban list for you guys, rightfully so. He's been terrible this year. But you're telling me he ain't going to have some new mojo? There's one thing about Jerry Jeudy that I've recognized with him, is that no matter if he's had 0 targets or 20 targets, that man is always on the sideline next to the quarterback looking to see in the tablet and is always engaged. I think he's going to break this 40.5 marker, and it may even be a first half cash if you had to ask me.
Wow, no Sauce Gardner either. I'm going to lean back into the Quinshon Judkins thing. I think a 20-plus yard rush, just one of them, is good. I do like any alternate, rushing lines. I think there's going to be a close game. I think they're going to keep it on the ground, but I like Judkins for an explosive or two. The Jets are okay in the explosive world, actually better comparatively compared to their yards per carry, yards per game, all that stuff, but still not great. So I do like Quinshon Judkins for a 20-plus yard run. That is our Honor the Lay. We're going to finish up here with our Jets-Browns predictions up next on Honor the Land on the Big Play Sports Network.
The NBA tip-off week, it's here. FanDuel, it's your home for live betting. So even if you missed the start of the game, you want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has the live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can combine bets into an SGP. That's right, a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. However you want to play, now is the perfect time to join, because FanDuel, they're giving new customers $300 in bonus bets. Your first $5 bet wins. Visit FanDuel.com/ FanDuel.com/bigplay to sign up today. Play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Must be 21 and older and present in select states for Kansas in affiliation with the Kansas Star Casino, or 18 and older and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.
Welcome back into Honor the Land on the Big Play Sports Network. I'm Max Loeb. He is Chef Zay. We are going to finish with our Browns-Jets prediction. Again, I just said it. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be back and forth. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. Now, I hope the Browns come off the bye with some new approaches. I hope they've seen some things on the film that the Jets have shown them. But we also have to remember the Jets are coming off a bye too, so they've got an extra week to scout the Browns, an extra week to get healthy. I don't love the points in this game. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, but I do think the Browns get it done.
Listen, man, I was telling you guys this before the show started. This feels just like pre-Dolphins game. I'm in the same boat. I think that I need one of two outcomes. I need them to lose and them fire Kevin Stefanski and bench Dylan, or this needs to be a dominant win. I don't think it could be close. This can't be a game where you're talking about, oh, Browns sneak away one. Absolutely not. The talent level is far. It's way better now in favor of the Browns. Despite the offensive problems, you're coming off of a bye week. You guys should have a new energy, knowing that Tommy Rees is going to be leading the offense now in a new voice. You talk about the coming off of the Jets coming off of their huge wins versus the AFC North opponent, so their desperation isn't as high as it once was. This should be a game where the Browns should come out and do the same thing that they did to the Dolphins, and whether that be on the defensive side of the ball, we would love to see it on the offensive side of the ball, but I can't come here on Monday and we do our show and be like, yeah, Browns snuck out a win 2017. Let's go, hoorah, Dylan, moving forward. Like, no, if we win at that, there's problems. There has to be some sort of problem, and I don't think that I'm in the camp where I'm okay with that. Like, why we're 2-6, we don't need sneak away wins versus 1-6 teams. I need you to be dominant versus this team, because their offense shouldn't be in the they shouldn't even hold Myles Garrett's jockstrap or anybody on our defense right now at this point. So it needs to be dominant. It needs to be like bigger brother-ish type feel, and we need to put these boys down. If not, be enemy of the air beware. The Mudblood may be next on Monday.
Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't think either of those things are happening, where it's a loss and somebody gets fired, or they win convincingly.
If they lose, someone gets fired?
I don't think so.
I think I'd actually.
I just don't know why now, not after the bye. Like, that's my thing. I'm not saying deservedly so or whatever, but like, why not after the bye?
Why wait until after the bye to make all the changes that you did now? Why tell us after the bye that you're going to Tommy Rees? Why move on from Paul DePodesta now? Like,
time to think, maybe. I don't know.
I'm looking at it like, there's only so many scapegoats. You can't lose. If you're Kevin Stefanski and you're Dylan Gabriel, more importantly, if you're Dylan Gabriel, you cannot lose this game. No. And you cannot be the reason. Like, this would be a pretty bad time for you to start throwing interceptions if you decide to do it this game.
Especially after, I guess, 2 weeks ago, technically, just how that looked. Yeah,
because then you're going to come home and then
against Baltimore,
and you know the second that Lamar Jackson goes 7 plays, 80 yards in 2 minutes, and then the Browns come out and go 3 plays, interception, that crowd is going to be probably having Bluetooth speakers play perfect timing the second that he's running off the field. Like, it's going to be a massacre for Dylan Gabriel if he can't figure it out this week.
Well, I do think he can. I do think the Browns win this game. I'm going to go 20-16 Browns this game. 20 points.
That's not good enough, man.
20 points.
I don't know, man. Cleveland, please don't disappoint me, okay? Just, Dylan, my short king, please, just, my fellow short king, just do something for me this week. I need a dominant win. I need at least 14 points. So give me 27-13.
Okay. I like that. I think we're both in the camp that they're going to win by more than a field goal. I like that a lot. I think the Browns take care of business. Any final words before we sign off?
Paul DePodesta's gone. Hey, here we go, Brownies. Here we go.
We appreciate you guys watching and listening. We'll see you next time on Honor the Land on the Big Play Sports Network.